And once again, a huge shout out to all of our financial supporters over at patreon.com/878Survivor FM, all of our production managers, Shane Murphy, Tank Dazza, Hawks Hammer, our producers, Red Freedom. Thank you all so much for your generous support over all of this time. Next, a huge thanks to all of our YouTube members, all of our emote bandits, our 87.8 survivors, King Alobar, Raymond Normoyle, Marson P2, Melbourne's Adventures, Pettywetty, The Greedy Peasant, Sauerkraut, and The Receding Man. And our 2 podcast bosses, Kenny Baker and Foxy Pote. All of you are legends who help the shows go on each and every week. Thank you all for your support, even just by watching or listening, and we hope you enjoy this week's show.
Hello there. Hello everyone in chat, my name's Lad. I am the main host of the Dayz podcast and modder. Cobra, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi guys. I am Cobra, content creator, and general pain in the ass.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And our boy Lemons. Come on, Lemons, don't ruin the floor. Don't ruin the floor. Yeah, he's actually gone, right? Okay, fair enough. Mm-hmm. And we are joined today by our good friend and guest, Slyvren. How you doing, mate? You doing all right?
Doing good. Happy to be here. Thanks for tuning in, Mom. She's not really here.
Mate, if she was.
But Jesus. I made it. I'm here.
That's class. No, I'm really happy to have you, mate. It's awesome having a bit of a chat to you, before the show started. It's been funny. It's been great. But
we can't talk about that stuff yet.
No, not yet. We'll wait until we get a little bit of Cobra and I get a bit of whiskey. Then again, I say whiskey, I've got fucking Iron Brew. This time it's a glass bottle, chat. But so how have you been?
Good.
Nice.
Just getting started with this content creation stuff and streaming, and the Dayz community is absolutely amazing.
It is. It definitely is. It's an interesting community for sure, but it's a good one. It's an absolute good one. It's a lovable one, and it's fantastic to be a part of. You did put in a little bit of a bio, which I do want to read out here. I've just got it on my phone because I don't have 3 monitors like a scrub. Name is Slyvren, but you can call me Sly. I've got over 2 decades in web dev, digital media, and pro audio production. Musician for 3 decades in gaming, even longer. I'm also now a budding content creator, and I stream on Twitch. I started FPS games at the very beginning, Wolfenstein 3D. Jesus Christ. And I haven't
I'm
stopped
old.
Since.
Yeah. Old school, mate.
I'm old. I can't help it.
Not with that attitude. I used to play Quake 3 competitively, and now I'm a Dayz addict. Started Dayz about a year ago, met Cobra through his community event and helped him out with his content for a while. He encouraged me to set out on my own path, and here I am, and welcome. It's nice to have you on, mate. It's very, very nice to have you on.
Thank you.
A bit of an extensive background.
Yeah. I tried to put everything, and it sounds good when you read it. Like, when I was typing it up, I'm like, but yeah. That's
nice.
basically it.
Yeah. So what got... I mean, we'll have a whole load of different people that come on the show, and everyone's got different reasons for getting into Dayz, so I'm really interested to hear about yours.
Okay. So starting with Dayz, some friends, when COVID hit, we were playing Ark, like my group of friends, and we got tired of that. And one of my buddies was like, "Do you want to try this game?" And for me, my interest in Dayz goes way back. I watched Frankie on PC way back, before Standalone was out, and I bought it. I bought the mod, but I couldn't get any of my friends to come play. And so that for that reason alone, and like I remember you would go stand in the bush and the zombies wouldn't attack you. Like, it was way back.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get any of my friends interested. They were playing War Z at the time, and I played that with them. And it never, which turned into Infestation. But anyways, it never panned out. And so it was on sale, and we were like, it was either Dayz, and I don't even remember the other game. And it was like, well, let's just get Dayz on sale. We
Yeah.
picked it up and we just started playing, and the learning curve was like super heavy. And
Yeah.
that's how I discovered Cobra, because I was like looking for videos. How does this work? How do you build a base? How do you stay alive? You know, and
Yeah.
that's what got me interested, and I've been hooked since.
Well, that's it. I mean, do you remember your first death?
No,
Oh,
it was
mate.
probably the zombies or something stupid. I really don't.
Oh, mate, Cobra, do you remember what yours was?
Yeah. That was when I got hit by that car, mate. If you remember a little while
yes.
ago. Yeah.
Yes.
Logged in first day, hit by a car straight away. I was thinking, I'm putting the game down. That's me done.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
And well, clearly you're here, aren't you?
Still here.
Still here. Mine was mine, Sly, was I don't remember the exact location, but I was in a shed, locked in, because I saw 2 armed people on the coast. I explained I was a new guy. Please don't kill me. And they gunned me down. And this is like in 0.59 alpha, so you could still hear people after you died.
Oh.
And they just said, "Welcome to Daisy, my friend." And that is stuck with me for like 7 years.
That's so perfect, though.
It is. It really bloody is. It's fantastic. Oh, mate, it was a good time. Alpha was great. So what was your first patch then? Like when you properly got into the game?
Oh, I honestly don't remember the patch number. It was the one before the Bison patch, I think, like 1.16 or something.
Right.
It was
I think that was 1.6.
yeah, whatever, like a year ago. It was literally last January.
Yeah.
I think it was 1.16 or 1.15 maybe. I might have been here for 1.16 when it came out.
Yeah. And what have you used the Bison?
Not a fan of it. I've used it.
Fair. Yeah, fair.
Not a fan of it.
Yeah, it's an interesting gun to use. Good for.
It's got a lot of ammo.
infected. Yeah,
Yeah.
just a few rounds in the mag. Yeah, just a few rounds.
Yeah, just a couple.
just a couple. Yeah. So, what's been kind of like the best thing that's happened to you with the game? Like, you got any good stories to tell us?
So many. Okay. I was running on the mosque with this guy, Rando. I can't remember his name for the life of me. And we ran for like an hour and a half. And I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I think he killed me. Like on purpose, like
impression?
Nothing wrong with that, mate.
Well, I just don't know. Like I had to go back through because I looked where he was and he wasn't there anymore. And I was fighting a zombie and I was red health. So I mean, if he mercy killed me, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I just turned around and got shot, and I could never tell if it was him or not. It was the same kind of gun, but it could have been somebody that was tracking us, But that was like those mysteries, like what happened. Those are the ones that get me, because I sit there and like mull over my thoughts, like, okay, what did I do wrong, or where was that person at? Like, where did they come from? But I've raided quite a few bases with that guy, Cobra. I will say one thing about him. He can spot like the smallest little glimpse of a base through all the brush in the world. And nobody, like, we ran with like 8 people, and he's like, "Oh, I think I see something over there." Got a little glint in my eye, and we'll run over there, and sure enough, it's like this huge stash in a base, and like nobody saw it.
Yeah, scripted.
There you go.
Right?
You're always
unofficial. Like he probably logged in on another character and built the base.
That'd be interesting. If only I had the bloody time, mate. Jesus.
Jesus Christ, mate. So you said your first patch was about 1.15, 1.16. So how long have you like been rolling with Cobra then exactly?
Well, so he started a community event. I guess it was March or April or something last year, and he was like, anybody in the community, come on. I was there on day one, and like there's a few people in chat that were there too, first day. And we just he made a video series out of it, and it was great. And then he started, I just started helping him with the tech side of his stream, like, set up a server for us for cinematics and helping him with just things here and there, like odds and ends, and paid. He actually hired me to work on his branding, his logo, and all that stuff. And we just developed a friendship out of that, like a working friendship, and it's just been awesome. I haven't actually got to play with the guy in probably a little over a month. I do stream with him now and again, but it's like I could see why he's always busy now that I'm doing this stuff too. It's like, oh, you don't have time to play for fun. Like it's always you have to have the end goal at the end of the day. Like, okay, what is this for? Yeah. So I get it. I don't have as much time now either. I'm like working on emotes or, playing in the next stream or, just trying to like behind the scenes stuff that I didn't even know existed.
Well, that's it. I mean, I'm pretty sure,
What's up,
like with, all of us, we're all pretty busy with our own little projects. And I assume, Lemons, you yourself, you're kind of like, do you get much time to play the game yourself as well?
I haven't played in months.
Mate, that is a solid mood. That is a solid mood.
Like, I guess it comes down to what your way of playing is, because for some people, that if that's their way of enjoying the game, that's their way of quote unquote playing it. So I think in that sense it can be like very subjective. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's like. The best way I can describe it is like, Cobra, if you and we were running together and, you use your super X-ray vision to find a base, I would look at it and be like, right, okay, and go the opposite direction. I just like have fun. I don't do raid bases, all that stuff. I'm like, I like what I have and I think I'll keep it.
Oh, mate, we get into some heavy shite, which is not for the faint-hearted. The chances of you getting killed when we go base raiding, I used to say they were like maybe 5%, but we've been a little bit lax of late, and the chances that they've gone up to about 80%. Someone's gonna die.
You buy Cobra's bullet, right, Sam?
Yeah, Sam knows about that.
Bloody hell, man! Bloody hell. So it sounds like you've definitely had some fair experiences with each other, completely like destroying, well, at least raiding bases, which is fantastic. What's been kind of like the most, I'm always quite interested in this, the most like embarrassing thing that you've done in the game, like something where you just think to yourself like, oh my god, did I actually just fucking do that?
Can I say one for Cobra?
Mate, if you want to.
Here we go.
If you want to.
No, it was just the incident we were talking about earlier, where he ended up killing one of our teammates in a base raid and downing me in the matter of a split second. Me, it's probably a team kill somewhere. I really don't know. Like, or like, I'll tell you one thing. Since I started streaming, I'm still working on the skill of paying 100% attention to the game and chat, like trying to entertain them and like pinging back and forth. So I've done some really stupid things and died really stupid deaths on stream because I'm trying to, entertain chat or trying to like, I'm worried about engagement. Like why is everyone quiet? Was it like I'm still new to all this? So, there's definitely been a lot of stupid things happen. Like, as I'm starting out streaming and even running with my buddy, Reap, I'm gonna out you here, but Reap, no, it's on me. But he said, he was like, when I'm playing with you and you're streaming, you're not here, you're not present, and maybe wait till you get a little bit better before you start running with me at this you switching back and forth thing, because it is a problem, and I see it. He's like, dude, I'm not there. Like, and I get it. Like, I'm not. It's not the same guy he's used to playing with,
Yeah.
So it does change things.
I would imagine. Like, I mean, I know when I used to like kind of like stream, playing DayZ, you would get that kind of like disparity between trying to like focus on the game, focus on what's going on around you, making sure you don't get like shot to shit, and then you obviously want to make sure chat's doing okay. You want to have you want to have a good time. So it is fucking hard. It is hard.
It's a proper skill.
It is like.
It's a really difficult balance, but once you get it and you're comfortable and your audience is comfortable, then you're on the right track. But it does take some time to get to that.
Yeah. Do you get like that, Lemons? Because I know you've done kind of like a few development streams for Zagora. Do you find like the chat, like, you know, trying to focus on what you're doing and then chat and kind of like messes with your mindset? Does that happen?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, my chat's pretty lax sometimes. That I usually more so just kind of like
talking amongst
in
themselves and
watching the exactly. And it's I'll have sometimes people will poke their heads in and like ask questions and stuff like that. But I'd say I wouldn't say it distracts me. If anything, it kind of like I'm able to pull it more so into the actual conversation and into like the whatever I'm working on, and kind of incorporate that into it in a sense. But there have been some times where like it'll be like buddies of mine, like IRL, that will come in and that will throw me off a bit, and they'll start shooting the shit with me a bit.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, it's a nice feeling, but yeah, I can imagine that would be like pretty funny though. So
for sure.
So what got you from playing the game to then just deciding I'm gonna make content, I'm gonna make videos, I'm gonna stream? Like, what got you into that, Slyvren?
I've dabbled with doing this stuff. Honestly, I started talking to Cobra about YouTube because I've dabbled with doing music stuff, and I wanted to learn a little bit more about behind the scenes. And I told him, I'm thinking about like applying some of this stuff you've been teaching me to YouTube, and like, maybe I'll start with gaming. It's a little bit easier to get started, and I have more ideas. And he's like, I think you should, mate. And those words still ring in my head. He did. That's exactly what he said. And I'm like, all right, well, let's go for it. And then it just took off from there. Like, I just started streaming with him with nobody, like maybe one person watching me. Like when he was doing a stream, like, okay, I'll just stream for the heck of it and see what happens. Yeah. And I made a YouTube video and a couple of shorts. And next thing you know, like I said, I told you before stream, but I was watching some Twitch streamers and people that I knew from YouTube, and I ran across Amish Zed, and he was having audio problems, and I tried to help him out. I was like, hey, I think I can help you, but he was talking to a whole chat trying to fix it live, and it's like this is not the way. And he was getting frustrated with it, and so I talked to his tech guy Nate, and I was like, I have some ideas, if you want to. I found him on Discord, and it's like, I have some ideas, and then he told Ish, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. So I started talking with him, and then just networking, through him and some of the other streamers I've been bumping into in their chats and stuff. It just helped me grow. And like, I'm still starting out. Like, I have 15 to 25 people usually on my stream.
That's still pretty darn good though, to be fair. That's still pretty damn good.
And I have some of my community here, and they keep pointing out that I like scare donos. I just want to say the theme of my stream is my chat really likes to punish me and likes to see me suffer.
Isn't that the case?
I love you guys, but
like seriously, that is the case for all chats. They just want to watch you suffer. Does that happen to you?
Oh, for sure.
Cobra?
Yeah, I mean, they have a bit of a problem, my lot, because they don't get to see me suffer often. So.
Oh no, that's very true. Yeah.
But when it does happen, it's interesting. They do take the piss. So happy days.
Yeah. He's a little bit more like people go there to learn things. Like Cobra can teach people while he's doing. He's like, this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. Yeah. And he's real good tactically. And I think my chat just likes to piss on me all day, and I love it.
Love it.
That's the best.
I'm here for
it.
I'm here for it.
Well, that's it. It's class though. It's the best kind of like
for sure.
Way to go about it. You got to embrace chat. They're going to be there. They're going to support you, but boy, they're going to make sure that you're shitted up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I do see a question in chat. Since streaming, which scare dono scared you the most?
Oh God, all of them. They make fun of me. So it started out. They make fun of me. Like like when I hear a gunshot, I wiggle my mouse back and forth to triangulate where it's coming from,
Yeah.
and they started making fun of me for the wiggle, and so it became this big thing, and now I just play into it. Like, now I just spin a whole circle, or I don't know. It's like I legit get scared, but like when I start the reaction, I just embellish it a little bit now.
Yeah,
like,
you got to.
Sorry guys, I really do. But it is hilarious. Like it does scare me at first, and then like I just carry on with it. But I would say the shotgun alerts got me because it's free channel points. By the way, guys, we're gonna start charging for that. The blaze is the one that gets me because I'm never expecting that. Like the shotgun one, I've heard it so many times. It starts to wear off a little bit, but they do, like, if they get the right timing, it still makes me shit my pants.
Nice.
Unsubscribe. I outed myself.
Don't do that. Yeah, because I.
Oh, Nate's here, by the way. Hi, Nate.
Hello, Nate.
Hey, hello, mate.
And hello, everyone in chat. Thanks for coming along. Really do appreciate it. See, that's the thing, because it's like, I mean, when I streamed and Cobra and Lemons, I don't know if you'll do the same. Lemons, not too sure about you because I don't really think I've seen you stream like proper gameplay. But the best kind of dono sounds is the ones that just completely shut you up. The best. Like it's like the go-to ones, but it's kind of like you got to pick sounds which you know for a fact you're not going to expect. Like the Blaze one, for example. Like personally, that wouldn't scare me, but in SVD, that would scare me.
That is loud as shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mate.
They're also a big
depends on the
fan.
volume too.
What did you say there, Lemons? I missed that.
Oh no, I said it also depends on the volume too.
Oh, mate, I'll put mine all the way up. I don't care. If my ears bleed, you know you're doing a good job.
But it's always interesting when you do that, but you've got your headphones on, because my sound goes through the Go XLR, and when I put it up full blast, it's all good running. But the second a huge shot kicks off, man, that deafens me for like 5 minutes. Bad.
Actually, like ears ringing and everything.
Yeah, proper. I have to take the headphones off for a minute.
Yeah, I had to level it so it's not louder than the game anymore, because it honestly scares me less when it's too loud.
Right.
Because I know it's fake. Like it's, so now it's like proper game volume. But my chat's also a big fan of the fart sounds, and they make me laugh every time. I'm a child inside.
Yeah, that's
it's a good time. It's a good time. I can't see that passing on Cover stream.
Yeah, yo, Mr. White, how you doing?
Definitely not. But yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and it's great. We can get we can get people who have like different like backgrounds when it comes to DayZ, and we do have like different ideas of content creation, everything like that. And I watched your videos, and I watched the latest one they put up. I think it was about a month ago that it came out. Mate, I love your content. I love your videos.
Talking to me or that guy?
No, I'm talking to you.
You, mate.
Fair enough.
I'm talking to you.
Your medicine one, mate. That's the one that you worked on for ages.
Yeah. I went in with like a super ambitious goal. I'd like to talk about that for a second. I went in with a super ambitious goal of, like, when I started playing the game and looking up all the content, a lot of it was out of date, and so many patches had happened, and there just wasn't one good video. I had to watch like 30 to learn things, and I was like, and I was talking to Cobra, I'm gonna make this ambitious video of like everything you need to know about DayZ starting out. And I realized how big of a chore that was, because there's so much with the game. So then I changed it up to like, okay, this is going to be about the things that can kill you.
Yeah.
And like, I still have part 2 to do, but it was just so much information so fast, and all the editing, like I wanted everything cut in, and I wanted to show everything on screen, because a lot of times the guy's just running around in DayZ talking over it. And I was like, no, I want everything to be shown on screen as it happens. So I had to make myself get sick. I had to like, and some of the diseases are actually hard to get even if you have a private server. Let me tell you. Like sitting there for 30 minutes. Why am I not sick yet? Why am I not sick yet? And I know what gets you sick, and it is complete pain in the butt. So yeah, it took forever. I am going to change gears a little bit going forward because that was a lot of work for one video. But you know, I also kind of wanted to show off my like editing skill because it's similar to audio editing, and you know, I'll put some of that in there.
It's an art. It's a bit of an art when it comes to it. I mean, I've tried. I'm terrible, but I was watching it and I was like, this is such a breath of fresh air. Like, it's nice.
Oh, thank you.
It was really enjoyable, and I don't think I have yet. I think I did. I definitely subbed to your Twitch. Well, like followed it, but I have to sub to your YouTube, and I recommend everybody do that as well. Chat. His details are all down below in the description. Get sub and get following.
Give him some love.
Yeah, way I. So, you know, you've got, what, I think it was, 3 videos on your YouTube channel. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, and I have, like, an unlisted one of me playing guitar for my chat when they come in, because people see the guitars in the camera, and they're like, whoa, will you play? I'm like, at the beginning of your streams I do, but, you know, if you want to see me play, here's just a, you know, minute and a half improv, you know, thing or whatever. And but yeah, I just have a couple of shorts, and like I said, once Twitch started working a little bit, I kind of shifted focus, and I need to go back because I know that's where I need to be. But I was also having PC issues, and I was also trying to help Ish with his stuff during this time.
Makes sense.
And you know, things just happened, but I went away for vacation and stuff. So now that I'm back, I'd like to start that, but I also have a little bit of a trouble like figuring out what kind of content I want to put out, you know. That's a huge thing.
Absolutely do you get like that, Cobra, as well? Like, you struggle like what kind of videos you want to put out?
Well, when I did spend the first 6 months before I even put a video up.
I remember.
I spent 6 months just making decisions and thinking about what type of creator I wanted to kind of be or emulate or whatever. And I can tell you this from my experience, and I'm sure that there'll be a lot of similar stories, is you think you know, and then you go for it, and then you realize how much goddamn work it is, and then your style changes as you become better. And I think we briefly touched on this last week, where a question was asked close to this type of topic. And for me, as long as I think the best way to deal with it is to stay humble. Is every video you will improve, and you will change all these different styles until one day you do something that you can look back and go, do you know what? Out of all of the, I don't know, 200 videos you've done in a year, you know, this one's probably my best. The worst thing, though, but it's also the best thing here, and Slyvren, I'm sure Lemons, who's done some before as well, may agree, is that if you're not looking at it every time you put a video out and go, right, I think when you've uploaded it, you think, right, I've done the best job I can. If you don't then go back and look at it and go, I could have done better on this, I could have done better on that for the next video, that's when you know it's time to stop. So that's so important, that reflection and that assessment of what you've done is so important, to be hypercritical and then want to do better on your next video. And that's where Slyvren is right now, I think, where, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Slyvren, but I think he then saw how difficult, how much work that first really good video he did took him. And then he was like, shit, I understand now. I understand why you got no time. You know?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. And it, like you said, I tend to do that. It comes from the music production side of me. I tend to do that anyways. As I make the video, like I'm super hypercritical during the process, and then at some point I'm like, okay, it's got to go out. I got to stop. But yeah, reflection is super important, and I think for me it's more important to do it a little bit down the line, like instead of right after. I'll go back in like a month or 2 months and go back and reflect and say, okay, well, you know, have I learned from this? What could I do better? Because I, like, right before I put the video out, I've already asked myself that 10,000 times. That's why it takes me 2 months, 3 months to put out a video.
Yeah.
Is it like constantly like this or that could be better? I could put another shot in here. And at the end of the day, a lot of times these little things matter, but they don't matter. Like you have to figure out what is important to the viewer and spend time on that instead. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like what matters to the viewer, what like the people that like me or like my content, what appeals to them more, and I need to spend more time on that versus things that are important to me with a producer mindset or whatever. Audio quality might not be on the top of their list. Entertainment is, and I could spend all day working on audio quality, and then it doesn't matter. It could have been exactly. The visuals suffer, or the content itself suffers, which is the worst thing because content's king, right?
Yeah.
But that's just kind of where I'm at with the YouTube thing, and still with the Twitch, like figuring out what's fun. I played my first variety stream, and I played Granny Simulator yesterday, and that was a lot of fun.
Wow.
You're a little toddler, and you go kill grandma. That's the game.
Mate, game of the year.
I'll start.
I'm getting a refund. I'm getting a refund. It was entertaining for a day.
Yeah. So Lemons, you kind of like the same thing as well, like what we've just been talking about. You kind of the same way of like your creative processes as well. Because I know for a fact, like I am like super critical of like anything I make. Like I think everything 100%. I make is utter dog shit. But
see, that's the issue with the stuff I make, because then it never gets made, because then I'll keep making it and then keep wanting to redo it and then all that kind of stuff, and then you're kind of in that perpetual loop of wanting to do better, and then in that process you don't release anything.
No, that's it.
Guilty.
We've all been there, mate. We've all been there, but then you can't afford, if you're going to be serious about YouTube and the algorithm, you can't afford not to put it out. You've got to put it out.
Exactly.
So
at the end of the day, like, it's not necessarily like to be laissez-faire about it or anything, but a lot of people won't realize the things that we do. Like when you like as a content creator, and at least putting that content out, a lot of them will just be happy to have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just keeping a good level between quality and quantity. And making sure that's managed, and I guess just being in a good mindset too, because that can really change a lot of things.
Absolutely.
Very true.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy what you can actually like get up to and what ideas you can come up with to kind of like make that next video. And I'm genuinely like really excited to see what else you come up with, Slyvren. I really, really am. I've even got the bell notification icon. I'll be getting on that. Which, please do that. Like, absolutely, please do that to his videos. Like, seriously, this guy deserves it. He really, really does.
I'm working on it. It's such a, like I said, I'm still trying to figure out my angle with YouTube and stuff. So
yeah.
I have all these ideas and I scrap them, kind of like what Lemons was talking about there. It like make it in a scrap it, or I'll start over, or it happens a lot. Like there's probably like 4 videos I've made that nobody's ever seen. I'm like, no, that's not it. It just doesn't hit right. But I should probably leave that up to the audience instead of my own discretion, because you're your own worst critic at the end of the day.
It's so
and
true. It's
one of those
so
things.
True. And especially when it comes to YouTube, when you're starting out, and this is like content creation and modding, mapping, everything like that, you gotta make sure that yes, whatever you first push out is good for your standards at the time, but you gotta be open to that criticism. You gotta be open to people coming and be like ripping it up. If they do think it's absolutely dreadful. But what's important is what you do with that information. Like, do you what do you take from it? What do you learn from it? And you just keep them going. And if you feel like it's going to go somewhere, then absolutely try and smash it. And if it doesn't work out, then at least you can say that you were interested, you tried, and there you go.
I've seen that happen a lot with Cobra. Like, just being I feel like I've been kind of beside him for some of his journey, and seeing like some of the comments, people mention things, and he's like, you know what, dude, like he'll actually my computer just beeped at me and screen went black, so sorry. I thought I lost you all. But he's taken that into consideration, and he would bounce it off of me, like come back to me. He's like, do you think like this guy was like ripping me apart in the comments, but what's at the end of the day, what's he really saying? What's the criticism here, and what's the, you know, what can I do to improve this? And he probably has a point somewhere, and you know, and he likes to unwrap that, and I really respect that, and I think you're right, Vlad, in that it's important to take those things into consideration, even if they're completely ripping you apart.
Yeah.
To take that into consideration and try and do something with it. That's what really matters with the feedback.
Well,
I think the key to the feedback, I think, and it's a really good topic, I think, is that I see a lot of people from a lot of different experiences here who really take it to heart, feedback. The thing is, until you can learn to accept the feedback, you're never going to get any better. And the thing is, the other thing is this: you can go down that route of taking it all to heart, but it will affect you massively. So the best way to deal with it is to turn around and go, have they actually got a bloody point? And if they have, then okay, I'm not going to be in anger responding to that. And I never respond angrily ever to a bad comment. Because even if it is absolute rubbish, you know, and everybody gets them, the first thing you've got to think of, they're actually commenting on your video. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Secondly, you know, they may be a bit less mature than you are in how they've put it, but the fact of the matter is, if it's a valid point and you need to self-reflect on it, then that's perfect. Because that makes you better. And as long as you go with it in that attitude, you can't lose. You can't lose.
Absolutely. And like, have you been like that a little bit as well, Lemons, of like stuff you've worked on?
100%. Definitely.
It's just shit.
Oh, fuck off.
So you can't take my feedback, can't take it.
yeah, there you go.
I would like to add, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say feedback's a crucial thing, and I think that even like regardless of if it's negative or positive, like just like terrible, like, you know, there's always still like a positive of it, and there's always something you can still make of that, and just try and like be better and make more, and you know, just become all around better and improve. So.
No,
that's exactly the point I was going to make. Glad I let you finish there. Like positive feedback as well. Don't let it go to heart, because you can get in an echo chamber pretty easily, and you know, you need somebody that's like gonna be honest with you and just gonna be critical, you know, constructively, even if you know your friends or whatever. Because if it's all positive, then you just keep doing the same things and you don't have any room to change or improve.
Well, that's it. And, you know, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, all of us here, we get that. But, I mean, do you think that the devs of the game, or like any game really, get that as well? Do you feel like sometimes they do take a step back and be like, maybe this isn't the best course of action or whatever else, or, you know, because I know with like 1.20 coming up for the first update this year, it's kind of like the like first stability patch kind of like update, and people's been keeping track of the feedback tracker, and a lot of stuff has been fixed. A lot of stuff that's been talked about has been fixed. But do you kind of like
bug?
Hopefully they did fix something with the hands. They did fix
Sorry,
something.
I had to.
Mate, don't worry about it. It was either going to be you or me. and I barely have time to play the game anymore, and I'm still like, this fucking bug, man, honestly. But, do you think that the DayZ devs kind of like get even in like our position sometimes?
I'm not sure. I hope they have a good network around them of people to help filter in the comments, because I know a lot of it they get is negative, and change this, fix this, do this, and the community, I'm sure, has difficulty understanding the budgetary and manpower issues, especially with coding. As a programmer, I know, you can have a bug that takes you months to fix that you because you can't reproduce it, and you have no idea how to even reproduce it to look for the issue. Yeah. So I hope that they have some people swinging the positives to them, or they're disconnected enough from the community that it doesn't dishearten them. You know, it's got to be a tough job, game development.
It's got to be, absolutely. And it's like, you know, and that's the thing. It's like, when do we think that 120 is gonna drop? Because it's like, again, it's the first patch of the year. It's always an exciting time, but it's kind of like, it must be fucking stressful. At least I'd be stressed. Because it's kind of similar to like getting that first video out, or, you know, first mod out or anything like that. It's still that same pressure, regardless of, you know, how it comes about.
I mean, can you imagine the pressure on any game development team to satisfy even half of that community?
Mate,
you know, it's no matter what you do, you are always going to come in for, why didn't you do this? Why have you chosen to do that? Why have you not fixed this? It's been a problem for ages. The fact is, you can't fix everything.
No,
you can't. So, you know.
But you should still fix that goddamn ADS bug. just fix it. Just press that big red button that says fix. So there you go, done, dusted. Isn't it that easy, right, guys? Isn't it that easy?
Right. It should be. Devote all resources to fixing the bug, and then carry on.
Yeah, that's it. No updates the rest of the year. That one pinnacle update fixed ADS bug. That's it. You can hear the cheering from here. Lordy Lord. But it's funny because, you know, we've talked about quite a few times on the show about, like, you know, current updates and whatnot. But sometimes I think that we sometimes forget, like, where Dayz's kind of like come from, and I actually checked out what happened like this day, like 7 years ago. And actually, I did find something. And on the 13th of January of 2016, it was a hotfix for 0.59. And 0.59 introduced the foul.
Love the foul.
Mate,
Cobbler's favorite, I think.
Yeah.
And, you know, it had some bug fixes, removed the Christmas trees, new feature to the UI, not that much there. But it's actually kind of crazy that, one, we'll manage to actually catch a day of the show and have it spot on to even a hotfix. But like 0.59 was like my first update, my first patch. And it's just crazy. Like, you know, you see here in the patch notes, FN foul, Glock 19. And you think, you know, you take those kind of weapons for granted, like, oh, there's like staple, like Dayz weapons. No. God, no.
Wow. But 7 years.
It's mad.
It's crazy.
It's 10 years this year since the game first ever came out.
It is. It's really good though. We had a chat about this yesterday, the podcast team, about what a good idea it would be to see what happened on this day, however many years ago.
Yeah.
And I think it's so good to go back and look at how, you see, this is a real positive, how different and how positive some of those changes have been. If you was to go back and play the game 6 years ago today, you would be pissed with the game.
Oh God, mate! Yeah.
Could you imagine? you wouldn't even buy it. But it's the same with every game, you know, if that has regular updates, you know, and we kind of get used to how, I don't know, take for granted, I would say, just how good the game really is, like Dayz really is. I still love it, to be honest with you. I still really love it. But then I look back on some of my really old videos that are not listed. And I'm like, oh my God, graphics were terrible. You couldn't even do this, you know. But fair play, evolution, great.
It is great. It's like, you know, sometimes I look back at the old videos and whatnot, and I think, bloody hell, people are barely getting 15, 20 FPS in towns. It's crazy. But I mean, the console guys get that all the time, so I suppose that's nothing really has changed overall.
Do you remember? I was going to say, do you guys, Lemons will remember this, right? Do you remember when you used to get shot, right? And when you died, you used to slide forever. The body used to slide. Do you remember that? Lemons, you must remember that, especially on the console days.
Oh, man.
It would never stop.
Yeah, it carried on, didn't it?
Yeah, I remember that.
There was no like friction on any surface.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like Slyvren, it really was the case of like you'd shoot somebody on a hill, you'd want to quickly loot them up, for a fact the mates are around, and you're like, for fuck's sake, I can't get the fucking body, fuck's sake, stop moving. It was crazy.
You'd be taking them for a walk.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
Yeah.
Now we have the opposite issue, right? You stick on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a new update.
It's kind of crazy, actually.
New immersion. Yeah.
I like to call it the Velcro pants update.
I mean, you ain't bloody wrong, especially when you're trying to get into a building and you can't. You have to like sprint to get into it. It's fucking annoying. Fix that, please.
Can we talk about the castle stairs?
Oh, that's still bad. That is still bad.
On the corners, like you get stuck and then you just fall.
Mate. Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
I did it last week, mate.
they're trying.
Yeah.
They're making a valid effort.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're trying. They are trying.
But I'll tell you this, Lemons, you're going to be impressed with this, right? Today, I've decided to go back a little bit back to some of my old roots, man. I just bought the PlayStation 5 to do a little bit of content on console. So,
Excuse me?
So proud of you.
There you
I'm so
go,
proud
mate.
of you.
No.
There's a no, I know this is going to piss loud off, but as there is such a massive community on console, I've gone, do you know what? I'm going to do a little bit more on console. So there you go. I just bought it today. We'll see how we go.
You fucking.
Silence,
Good-
mate. Look at that. Silence.
Good luck.
First it was DOJ, then Cobra. It's gonna be you pretty soon, lad.
Why are you downgrading? Scale speed. There we go. He's over the fucking moon.
There you go. I knew there'd be someone.
Jesus Christ.
Excellent.
Won't be me.
Yeah, I was just about to say, please don't go console.
The only thing I'm not looking forward to is the inventory. Going back to console inventory is a pain in the ass. But I just had such a great time on console. It's a different type of gameplay.
It is. I mean, and it's like there's a lot of people that still play it, and I did see a post on Reddit. I wish I had it bookmarked, and somebody was saying like, comparing current console inventory to Resident Evil 4 inventory. It's like, look, if that system worked, why couldn't it work for DayZ? Yeah. And I think that's a good question. And like Lemons, I'd love to get your insight on that specific kind of query. You played Resident Evil 4, haven't you? Please say yes.
Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so the inventory for back then, easy enough on consoles, simple, straight to the point, very snappy. Why can't that happen for DayZ console, please?
I mean,
just not
to be
think
fair,
of it?
like Cobra, when you played on the console, how long ago would you think that'd be?
Right, so I've been solely PC for about a year and a half, 2 years.
I'll tell you what, the inventory is totally different now. Like,
right, well, I'm going to find out tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks
they've
the same
like
from the
ever
pictures.
since the game was in preview, or anyone that's played since preview on Xbox at least can say for sure that the inventory is night and day to what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say even now they're still working really hard to try and make it the best it can be. And to be fair, the way it is on like controller, it actually makes more sense having it the way it is on console, like compared to PC, because instead of having like that grid system where you can do like the inventory Tetris, it pretty much does the inventory Tetris for you.
So it automatically slots in now rather than it used to everywhere.
Yeah. So it doesn't actually have a grid. So you would drag it into an inventory space and it would put it in that kind of area. And then it will show you like the maximum amount of slots. So it'd say like, oh, you have 3 of X amount of slots. So it's an interesting thing. And if I can, as we're talking, I'll probably get the Xbox going. I can dust that off real quick and I can actually show you what it looks like.
Mate, That's
That would be
great.
pretty sick, actually. And it's funny because like I'm just kind of been thinking out loud and just watching chat a little bit. And Riz just said here, and I really love this comment. I've been playing since closed beta, literally first. 10 in the world to play on Xbox. It has come a long way, and it has. It really, really has. And you can even just look at the Steam charts, and quite a few people in the community on Twitter, they were talking about it, including Marks, and they surpassed their goal again, like their current players. And this picture's
60,000 right now.
It's 61,000. This image is slightly.
Oh, jeez.
I think it got surpassed
That's
shortly
impressive.
after this. But I love Daisy. I love the community about it. I love the team. There's no way you could have told me this game would have gotten 60k players. It's is a peak concurrent. It's crazy, and they even talked a little bit about it in the community spotlight about how many players played on PC and console. In Cobra, you actually done the maths, and it turned out that there was more console players than PC.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was perplexed.
But do you know what though? See, this is the thing, right? Unless you've played both console and PC, you won't get a true understanding of what's better on what side, right? Now, in terms of raw gameplay, base building, there is so much more of it on console than there is PC. Players building bases. In terms of fighting, there's a lot more on console. There's PvP, there's a lot more on console. But on the PC side of it, there's also the modded maps. There's the additionals. There's all this other stuff, and a different infantry, and there's easier ways of sliding things, between your hands and other bits and pieces. So, I think to get a true perspective, you've got to have played both sides at some point.
No, absolutely. You are completely right. Sorry, I just got completely perplexed. Like Lemons' image just went into the Matrix.
No, I saw that.
I was looking at it as well. What's going on here?
I was getting the Daisy Xbox going, and that was definitely not Daisy Xbox, to be fair.
I was just about to say, my mind just went. But no, you are completely right. And to be honest, I would like to try Daisy on console just to get that experience, because at this point, there's more players on there. And oh my lord, it's there. And I would love to. We're seeing everything. We're seeing everything.
I know. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm just gonna zoom in on this, right? Oh.
I was gonna say.
Just in time.
No, I was saying this. I was saying to I forget which streamer it was, but it would be so surreal to get a bunch of PC streamers or predominantly PC streamers and throw them on Xbox and just see what they can do. Because the great thing about Xbox is we have Game Pass and Cloud Sharing, so you can actually play it off your computer and play and have it streamed on the computer without even owning the copy, as long as you have Game Pass, which you can get a free month through Xbox. So it'd be interesting. That's for sure.
Try that. I might try. I mean, I've still got my Xbox controller. I might try it out. See what happens.
Won't be me. Be me.
You are a purist, and I respect that.
I started PC gaming at such a age that I love consoles for certain things, and I'm going to say something controversial for the console people, but playing a first-person shooter with a controller feels like you're trying to thread a needle with what's on. The accuracy is just not there. You don't have the input. Aim assist is not the same experience as you actually having to do the work. That's just my experience. So I just can't do it for the aiming thing alone. But I love consoles for role-playing games and racing games and stuff like that. But that's just my point of view. But I started out FPS on PC at the beginning of time, so
the dawn of
Dinosaur.
time, there was matter in Wolfenstein 3D.
Exactly. Before you could look up and down,
Yeah. Oh, those are the days, mate. Those are the days. I would actually love to go back and play that game. I'm pretty sure.
It's terrible.
I mean, it more than likely is, but I mean, I wish I had this image, but I did see it. It was It was like an evolution of game engines, and most, if not all of them, stemmed from Wolfenstein 3D.
Yes.
And
Yes,
it's like,
I mean, like as a Quake fan, yes.
Yeah.
John Carmack pretty much he invented the genre, and a lot of games built their own engine. Like they licensed the Quake engine out, or the Quake 2 engine, or the Quake 3, so forth.
Yeah.
They came out with a new generation, and even Half-Life, all those, like a lot of
Yeah.
them licensed out the Quake engine, and then they repurposed them and went along their path. And like almost every game engine to this day owes something back to, way back.
Quake and even like the Source engine and.
Source 2,
Yeah. The Source engine definitely
Yeah.
was from the Quake engine, and that's, but that's the you just give me goosebumps here because that goes back to my roots. having nostalgia fits over here now.
I
Oh,
know
man.
some things despite my young age.
Half-Life 2 Deathmatch was where it was at. That was the thing for me. Oh man.
Actually, reminds me, did you hear about what happened recently with Valve?
No. What happened?
Their entire TF2 repo got leaked.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Maybe someone can actually update it for once.
Oh.
Oh, that was a spicy comment there, Lemons.
Yeah, it was spicy. I was thinking as a developer, I'm like, those poor devs, man. That's a huge. That's huge.
It sucks. It sucks. It really, really does. I've been watching quite a few videos on it, but it's kind of crazy. But we are stemming a little bit too way away from Daisy. That's
Yeah. So
that's
looping us around,
looping us around.
I managed to get the video going.
Oh,
So I can actually show you guys right here what it looks like on console. Crazy stuff here, but as you can see, the inventory, there's no grid. So
Yeah.
what it is you put the stuff into the inventory and it kind of equates to whatever it is. So you can see it's like 0 to 12 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you just drop it in, and it just adds to the actual size of the inventory space. And I mean, it's pretty considering like the way it is on console, and like the controller. I'd say it's pretty straightforward. To be fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to spend a couple of hours, I think, getting used to all of the different key binds and setting everything back up. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Looking at
One
this,
key-
that's my
Go ahead. Yeah. One key difference I've learned through the community and people, having discussions. I think it was back when we were doing the stuff with Cobra, the community stuff, is that in a field pack on console, you can fit logs in there. And you can't do that on PC because of the Tetris system, but because it only takes X number of slots, you can actually fit them in there.
You can. That's true.
I
Because
couldn't
there's no
remember.
grid, and it only goes based off of the actual
Number.
size within it, so you can do whatever you want.
So you can run full speed with logs in your bag, basically.
Yeah, that's insane. I don't know if I like that.
Is that with the Alice backpack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember ish.
But yeah, definitely interesting stuff. And like I was saying, even 2 years ago, it was nowhere near the way it is now. And like even in chat, I think people can agree that it's come a long way. And seeing it the way it is now is just amazing.
I bet. Well, I'm gonna find out tomorrow, mate.
Are you doing a stream about it?
I thought about doing a live stream on PS. To be fair, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna spend the first hour just getting used to the controls again and checking out whatever's what. But...
No, honestly, I think people should get your raw reactions right from the get-go.
Do you know what the problem is, mate? I'll probably get killed pissing about with the infantry and everything else. I will
better.
Probably.
Even better, honestly. Yeah. But it's I mean, the game it's done really well, and BI's like going back to it has been doing really well, and kind of separating a little bit what we're talking about, but like something that has always kind of sprung to mind about the game and the community and BI is a lot of people say they should just hire like modders, right? They should just hire modders, fix the games, and do whatever else. Well, I knew that they hired someone else. I don't know if you see that. I mean, Slyvren, I don't know how in depth you kind of are when it comes to like the development side of the game or BI in general. Slyvren there.
Has Slyvren's stuff cut out there?
It
I
has,
think-
yeah.
He's been.
You were?
He's been. Oh dear. He's been banished to the Shadow Realm.
All
Oh
that
dear.
talking about console, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it. Just that.
The console. he angered the console gods. They've taken his soul.
Yeah, he's gone.
The Daisy Gods is displeased with his lack of. Oh, there he goes.
And there he goes.
There he
I'm
goes.
sure. I'm sure we'll be back in a
All
minute.
right, fast episode,
Yeah.
guys. See you guys
Right.
later. See you next
Thanks
week.
very much. Take care. But just a quick note, a little bit, while Slyvren's getting sorted. Ah, he's back.
There you go.
Are you
Can you
there?
hear us?
Hello, fellas. My internet shut.
Oh, he's
Internet issues.
here on your phone now, eh? I take that as a yes.
Yes.
So, there we go. So as I was just saying, it was just a quick little note while getting the internet sorted out there, Slyvren. So BI has hired another person, not to do with DayZ, but I felt that it would be a disservice without mentioning this. So the person behind the long-awaited animation framework release, please, and he's contributed to so many different mods. Mario E has been hired by BI to work on Armor Reforger and Armor 4. And if I can get his actual job description that he's posted on his Discord, which I found quite funny, which then a lot of people found out about it. Senior Technical Designer at Bohemia Interactive. Does this mean... It doesn't mean that he's going to be working on DayZ. Not at all. And even though there is kind of cross compatibility with the teams that they work together like they did on the major update for 2022, I wouldn't expect him to be working on DayZ, but again, I needed to mention it because that is an accomplishment. Fantastic. A modder getting hired to be a senior technical designer. It's class.
Yeah, fair play to him.
Fair play
Love
to
it.
him. Fair play to him. BI, why won't you hire me? Please hire me. I need
Yeah, that's-
stuff.
That's happened quite a few times in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
That's a good thing about games like DayZ that allow mods. It gives people a chance to break into the industry if you stand out and you're exceptional, and it does the development team good as well to have their eyes open for that kind of talent.
Yeah, absolutely. And Digital High Five, yeah, you're right. I mean, Adam's been working at the company for over 12 years now? 12, 13 years, maybe a bit longer now. And I think he used to do modding way back in the day, and then they hired him, so some things never really change. There we go, environment designer, there we go. But yeah, it's class. It's class, and it's not only nice to see people modding community, get their praises and whatnot, and they get recognized on the platforms. But content creators, and I felt it was a good idea to talk about this and mention it a little bit. But Cairo, which everybody knows Cairo, good lad. He's done some solid content over the years, and he's been signed up with Elusive Talent Agency, which is it's a talent management agency working with large content gaming creators and brands. Been going around for a while, based in Canada. Lemons, is that you?
Woohoo!
And Cairo, like I said, he's done some fantastic things, and I believe it was Echo as well, who was previously signed up with another agency, who has since split. But it's nice to see more content creators go down that path, get themselves signed for the talent agencies, and it does help. It really, really does help, and it's fantastic. And I mean, you can see here, Reverend, Centurion, Frankie Z, Night Viper, Kieran, all supportive of it. All supportive. Why am I not liked it? What the fuck? How dare I not like that? Disgraceful. But it's nice to see people gets that kind of recognition. And I really am hoping the best for him, and hoping the best for his content for 2023. Because, why not? It's New Year. And he's done some good stuff, so I think it's always great. I'd love to know what you guys think about it. Because I know, like, talent agencies... Yeah. It is.
Yeah, I think
deserved.
anyone that gets a recognition and promoted in such way deserve, clearly they deserve it. They've worked hard, and fair play to them, mate. Yeah, absolutely.
What does a talent agency do for content creators? It is a bit of a good question, because you would think, oh well, they've done it all this time for themselves. Why would they need one? But it's kind of like, it is branching out, a little bit.
I think networking's a big thing.
Networking is the most important thing when it comes to content creation, I think. Like, it absolutely
I would agree.
is. Like, you can make the best videos known to man, but if you can't network that video, no one's going to watch it.
Yeah.
Boyd's got a good point there. Check out Devon Nash, because he's always got some good tips and videos when it comes to content creation and stuff like that. So check out their videos as well. But not only do people like get recognized in the community, they do stuff to kind of like show their appreciation to like the game and the community. I'm pretty sure we can all think of at least one person who does that. And one thing that I did see, which I thought was really, really freaking awesome, is a person called by Punchy McSlap. What a name, though. Fantastic name. And they created their own prints. I believe it was going to be for Etsy. Based in England. Hell yes. But, I mean, look at those prints. Look at those prints on the left. Have you seen these?
I saw them today, yeah, they look really good.
I would actually buy a comic on this like style and design. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, comics and whatever else, it's kind of like not my thing. But I would. I absolutely would.
Yeah, I mean, again, comics aren't my thing either, but it does look good.
Even just to like collect, that'd be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Memorabilia type stuff, yeah, absolutely.
Which I'm a sucker for, to be honest. I've always have been. I just looked over to the other screen. I thought it frozen. I kind of shit myself a little bit. I was like, "Oh no, it crashed!" But no, it's
always the struggle. Always the struggle with the tech issues.
Mate, the past few episodes, honestly, I felt sorry for Foxy having to put the videos together. Bless his heart. But there's always some cool stuff that people come out with the community, and the community spotlight tries its best to like showcase that, get that kind of out there. What kind of stuff have you guys seen in the community that's kind of like been quite interesting to see for you?
What are you thinking, Levens?
That one Lads Light in V2 mod.
Oh, shut up!
From that one lad guy.
Shut up! Shut up! No.
But I don't know. I mean, I'd say at least on the console side of things, for those who know the Greedy Peasant, he's a relatively big console streamer. He does a lot of stuff on both platforms like PlayStation and Xbox. And just recently, he announced that he'll be doing a live podcast. But what's crazy about it is he's actually be doing it inside of DayZ.
Oh, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's going to be like, the way he said he's going to be doing it, or like kind of like the rough idea is he'll have his guests in a call, like through Discord.
Yeah.
But it'll be like they're talking in game, and people will be able to like join the private server, will be like whitelisted, and they'll be able to join in and kind of watch in on them in game, which if they can accomplish that, that'd be pretty cool, to be fair.
But mate, that's I mean, I know we've kind of like played with the idea of trying to do that for at least one of our episodes, and to pull off something like that is extremely difficult, especially if you're playing like a public server like community or official. I would imagine it would be more chaotic and official. Would you agree, Connor?
Oh, absolutely, mate.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Always.
Just trying to just trying to get it all to poof. No,
Like, you ain't going to probably last more than 5 to 10 minutes.
Nah.
There'll be
Absolutely
server suddenly full, people watching, everyone wants to get a little 2 minute of fame. That's what that'll be.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any links or any details on that, Lemons, that you can post in the chat for people to check out?
So right now, I'll just put his That's a good question. I'll put his Discord in the chat because I think that's probably gonna be the best resource to go off of it because it's still very, very early in like development. So he's still like going through like the drafting stage and like getting guests on and like all that kind of stuff organized.
Yeah.
So I'd say like keep it on your radar. Should be out maybe within the next few weeks. I know he said he's been wanting to try and get an episode out soon, so fingers crossed, and all my support goes out to him and the console cult. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice to see more stuff come from console. We do hear a lot of stuff come from PC. We've been quite PC focused, especially as of recently. But it's such a refresher to see more stuff from console. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Lemons, when we had Greedy Peasant on, it was just like, I was fascinated. As much shit as I give the console community in like that side, it's still fascinating. But I mean, that's
100%.
That's just me. I mean, I don't know if Cobra or Slyvren, you might agree.
I think a lot of times the console community has to be a little more creative because they don't have the freedom of the mods and things like that to generate unique content. So I feel like they have to think outside of the box way further than a lot of the PC community does as far as content creation.
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool idea, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's an easy way around that, and I think that's going to be do everything as you would normally, bar covering up. That is, cover up the actual server you're joining. I think if they did that, then there's going to be, that may work. But if you're going to show everything, then you are going to have random people just jumping onto wherever you are, aren't you? So.
Well, that's it. But
looking forward to seeing how that goes.
So am I, really. I think I'm going to definitely try and tune into that episode and find out how it goes and wait to see if like my kind of theory of it being absolutely chaotic is true. And if it works out perfectly fine, mate, he's onto something. We're going to have to step up our game.
Yeah.
But speaking about stepping up game, last year we saw quite a few events from different content creators, mainly on the PC side. We had the Kings of the Castle, Women's of the Castle, and stuff like that, and various ones that Happy Bombs had done. Spaggy's run diary try kind of stuff, when he's sober. But one that caught attention, and we kind of talked about this a little bit last weekend, I believe. But Raplet, he's actually finally put out the first details for their event. So for people who are just listening, he goes, "Hey survivors, solo duo battle royale this Sunday, the 15th of January 23, 2 p.m. CST, which I believe is Central. No, yes, Central. Yes, I'm smart.
Yes.
Yes, I got there eventually. 3 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. UK, and 9 p.m. EU. Sign-ups and Discord below in the event roster. There can only be one winner, not with that attitude. Hosted by Rav and Fatal Attraction servers. Retweets appreciated. Which, by the way, I keep forgetting to do. That is disgraceful of me. So if you want to get signed up to an event, absolutely go ahead and check it out. And another person who I know that's starting out an event is Sauerkraut, which for the Wolves of Daisy server. I think Cobra, I saw him mention you about it before. Might have to might have to try and join in that. I never play events. It gives us a good excuse to play the game again.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good.
What other kind of like events are you kind of hoping to see like Slyvren like for this year?
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but I guess so because Amish said so on stream. But he was talking about having a Western showdown on Dakistan, where it would be like some kind of duel, and you would work your way up the ranks. So he hasn't worked out the details, but I think Ariana's going to help him with it. You know, kind of like backs to each other, take 5 steps. They say draw, turn around, shoot each other.
Proper duels.
Yeah, it sounded interesting.
That actually sounds
like just a revolver.
Brilliant. Mate. I want to play that. I want to be a really
he hasn't worked out
the
details yet, but he did say it on stream, so I guess I'm okay to say it. But I that sounds really awesome. And also the I can't remember the name of Ariana's event that's coming up with the women. That sounds really awesome.
That was meant to happen tonight, I think it was.
Oh,
yeah.
I think it got postponed. She had
to take a kid to the hospital. Bless her. I hope the kid's doing all right. I hope she's doing all right. The whole family's doing. So that's that must be scary.
I can't imagine. I can't even imagine. But also, in just all the normal events, like bring them back. Let's do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down for that.
They've all the ones I've watched have been amazing.
I've tried to catch them, but I am limited time. But I usually try and like catch, what people say like after the fact, how it was and whatnot, and usually it's really good stuff. It's not that often that I hear like negative stuff or like heavy criticism or anything like that. So, mate, more events the better, both for PC and console.
For sure. I think I don't even know about that many console events that happen, but I would like to see some. I think it would help grow the community because honestly on Twitch I don't see that's mainly what I'm tuned into, but I don't see a whole lot of DayZ console Twitch streamers with a whole lot of traction, and that would be an amazing thing to see change.
I know there's quite a few on YouTube and quite a number of them on Facebook, surprisingly. I'll occasionally scroll through.
Yeah, maybe Twitch just isn't the right platform for that, and I need to look elsewhere to see some of that. But I would like to see it though.
Well,
there's a lot of. Go ahead, Lemons.
I was just saying TikTok as well. Like console DayZ's really been thriving on TikTok.
TikTok is like the platform for console DayZ. Surprisingly, actually, thinking about it. But yeah, it's quite interesting. It's at least to me, but I am a bit of a boring sod. But then again, events are always fucking fantastic to watch. But what I do actually find really fascinating as well is a lot of people in DayZ, they know it's based on like real life locations. They've got real life stuff. Like, more notably, we talked about the hangar at Northeast Airfield, the civilian hangar, and I think it was sometime. Not last year, the year before, we talked about... No, actually, it was sometime last year. It got destroyed. It got destroyed because of the conflict going on in Ukraine, which is really fucking sad. But a post came out by Raxtor, who got some information on the real-life Tizzy base. Which, I don't know if you guys have seen that. Why am I not liking and retweeting these posts? God damn it. I checked these. Mate, this is fascinating stuff. So, for people who are just listening in, military base Tizzy in DayZ game was inspired by real anti-aircraft base located in Birdie, I think that's how you pronounce it, above Dobris near Prague. It was an anti-aircraft missile area with installation of system S-200 Vega with 3 guidance radars and 3 anti-aircraft missile launch sites, and there's GPS coordinates here for you to check out. But you look at it, and it's surprisingly faithful. I mean, I still don't understand why they never include the radars on top of the the concrete buildings. But, mate, it looks pretty darn good.
Yeah.
If only the real life Tizzy looked like this. Actually, no, that's not right to say, because I think Tizzy looks pretty good as it is right now. But yeah, no, this is really fascinating stuff.
I haven't seen it. I can't see the YouTube right now. Unfortunately, I'm on the phone. But I've seen some of I've seen a video where a guy drove by a lot of the buildings they use for assets, like the real life versions of it, or the streets of Chernaris and things like that, or Cherno. And they've done a good job in DayZ, I think.
They really have. They really, really have. I think the best location that is really true to the real life location is the town that was redone by DOJ with the start of last year. Nizhnoy. I keep forgetting what it's bloody called. Nizhnoy. That was like the best representation. And it was so cool. I love the train line there. It goes like under the bridge. It's class. I love it. Shut up, Jacob.
Jacob.
There you little git. But yeah, I really good representation. But I personally was like hearing like these kind of facts about real life locations. It's always really interesting to me, because sometimes you kind of forget, DayZ, obviously DayZ's a game, but some of the locations actually exist. It's like No Fast Airfield. That's a real location, or at least mostly inspired by a real location, but it's not actually where Chernaris is in real life. It's like miles and miles and miles away. But it's nice to see how they can compress stuff like that in there and make it work. Well, I say make it work. It's getting redone, so I mean,
Westfield.
Northwest Fields, yeah. Man.
Yeah, are they gonna redo it, or I saw the post where it was empty, and are they gonna leave it as a field, or they just troll it?
That was the parody account. That was
okay.
That was actually done by Dance to Jesus, which you spoke to a little bit earlier. He's the new environmental designer for DayZ, and he's a fucking little shit.
Fair. I knew it was a parody post, but I actually thought it was like done by the official DayZ Twitter. I didn't notice that it had the EXP on the end of the handle.
Yeah, people usually miss that. It actually tricked our friends over at the Friendly podcast. It actually tricked them. I think they just released an episode where they were talking about it, and I saw on their Twitter, I didn't have a chance to watch it, but I saw on the Twitter that people were like, oh my god, you actually got tricked by them. Hilarious. I love it. I love the XP account. It's brilliant. Lordy Lord. What else has been going on the console side though? Lemons. Anything interesting?
Oh man.
Because I know people's been crying out for more maps. So
yeah, that's true. I think one big thing, and one big issue with console is a lot of people going into it don't realize a lot of the kind of silver lining when it comes to development on console. Not even just like DayZ alone, but just general game development. And I think even on the PC side, a lot of people don't fully know or understand why we can't have more maps or custom maps or modded maps on console. And it's not always Bohemia's fault. Even earlier this year, the video Marks had published talking about how Xbox couldn't no longer have microphone or VoIP when someone's trying to record something or stream. That wasn't at DayZ's discretion. It was done because it was a policy rolled out by Microsoft, and
I remember that.
It's the exact same thing when it comes to custom maps, because unfortunately Microsoft has a very, very strict data protection policy, and Bohemia just does not want to step on a billion-dollar company's toes.
No.
And I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Because to look at it as a developer, you got to think, if they breach this contract, they could risk having DayZ pulled off the market on console.
Yeah.
And even if that was pulled off for a week, that could potentially be tens of thousands of dollars that have just been lost in revenue. That even like Daisy and Nitrado just lost because of that. So I think that's a big thing, and making sure that they are very cautious of that kind of stuff. Because that's not to say we might not get a new map, but I think that if we do, it's going to be one that's going to be released between both consoles or both platforms, like PC and console, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's ever going to be an exclusive because it just doesn't really match Bohemia's kind of, I think, development vision.
Yeah.
They're very kind of like equality is a big thing for them, and they want everything to like have like parity between both platforms.
Yeah.
So
and
I
that's
think
it. It's. Go
Yeah.
on. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go on. Finish.
no, I was just gonna like wrap it up by saying I think that if we ever have like a successor, like it would be something similar to Livonia,
Mm-hmm.
where there will be one release, but it'll inevitably make it out to both platforms.
Yeah. Well, it's actually quite enlightening. I didn't expect it to be that quite in depth. I just always thought I was just legal about like getting people in together. But if it turns out it is that as well, yeah, that's fair enough. It sucks, but yeah, it is fair enough. And it's a shame because we do have modern maps like Banov, which I'll quickly go into here. Having stuff like this. So Cabello's doing a big change on quarries for the Banov map, and he actually done a time lapse video, which I don't have up right now, but he's done some fantastic work, and I'm just showing some screenshots here. And Banov's come a long way, and it's a shame that people on console can't have something like this. It really is a shame.
Banov is very, very well done as well.
It really.
Well, there's always a trade-off, with console. Like those policies are terrible for the modding community and those types of things. But at the same time, does console have a problem with cheaters on official?
I don't.
Or community.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and
Exporters, maybe.
that's the thing. I mean, officials the thing PC always gets ragged on for, but they have those protections in place for those types of things. So if you have a really controlled system, you can lock it down tighter, and that's just the nature of the beast. So
Yeah.
There's push and pull with that, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it is one of
And
those things. But
just to clarify as well in chat, I did see the message from Riz saying, "Is there any way to appeal the VoIP thing for people who spent their money on console?" And just to clarify, it's not necessarily just VoIP in general. It's only if you're streaming it on like Twitch.
Yeah.
And VoIP's still in the game, so you don't have to worry about that. VoIP still exists. It's just it's a legal thing through Xbox. It's one of their privacy policies. So if someone's streaming it or publicly broadcasting the game, they won't have VoIP. But a simple workaround for that is just getting a capture card.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to go back into depth about it in another episode. Maybe we could even make like a little video about it. Maybe a little short. Maybe how you can get around it. But yeah, it's quite interesting. It's a bit of an eye-opening thing. But there's something that I want Cobra to quickly talk about there before we finish up. And you've actually got a content creator spotlight.
Yeah, so we've another thing we've discussed prior to the new year. We decided to add some bits and pieces to the to the podcast. One of which is to do segments on the content creator side. So basically, how that will run is going to be quite simple. Every week, I'm going to highlight a content creator. Some may be quite well known, others will not be known or not very well known yet as they begin their journey. And this week, I've been keeping an eye on a number of these, and this week I'd like to highlight a chap called Hocken123. Now, lad, I've sent you the link to his channel if you're happy to put that in chat. Now, this is a newish up and coming channel. It does actually show it's been running since 2013, but the fact of the matter is the Dayz content is all new within the last month and a bit, 2 to 3 months even, and it's just nice to see and give some airtime to people who are working hard in the community, and this is certainly one of those people. It's
Yeah.
currently sat at 6,400 subs, so that shot up over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
I remember looking at that when it was at 3,000. One of the videos he's done recently has got a lot of traction, 87 or just under 87,000 views 2 weeks ago, where he had done a little video. The title of it is
I lived in a trailer as
That's
a
it.
hobo on heavy modded Slyvren Dayz. I want to watch that.
Now, I mean, I've not seen a titled that way in DayZ ever, hobo used at all. So it's quite it's quite an interesting one, because as a content creator myself, obviously the thumbnails and the titles are very, very important. And I guess if I'd have thought of writing that as a title, I don't think I'd have gone with it. But it's definitely worked on this occasion for him. So fair play to him. And he's just released a video 5 days ago, living in a gas zone on official DayZ servers, and that's got some traction. That's on about 10k view on 5 days ago. And like I said, it's nice to show people that are still working hard in the community, maybe some that are not as well known. But for me, that's my content creator highlight for this week. So go and check him out. Go and have a little look at it. See what you think of it.
Link has been posted in chat. Check it out. Go on, check it out. So before we do wrap up, there's just a couple of things that I want to talk about. So we're starting these kind of questions of the week, and we pick people from staff, and we're going to be picking people from the community to ask a question to us and our guests. So here's the question from Foxy Port, who edits our videos and gets them onto the YouTube channel. What do you do when you lose love for the game, but you want to play again? So when you get like burnt out and that, what do you do?
Well, for me, I go back to like my music thing, like the same thing that happens with music, and just try and find a new angle, a new way to play. Like if you're not used to playing heavily modded servers, go jump on a heavily modded server. If you're not used to playing, official or vanilla, like find a new way, like a new angle to explore that you don't normally do, even if it's not your forte. And also maybe try and find a new group of people to play it with. Like if there's somebody like one of your friends that's interested, that's new, and you just never got around to working out, like just try and find something new to explore, whether it be a new group of people or a new mod or a new map or something like that.
Yeah.
And it'll help refresh your love for the game. And once you get into it, you can go back to your old staples. But that's really, I think that's really the key, is just try and find a new angle to appreciate.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been there myself. I've done that, and it does help. It definitely does help. Lemons, what about you?
I think I'm kind of in the same boat with it. I think it's definitely it's an interesting one. You could really go on for like a while, kind of spilling off into that kind of stuff. But I'd say, me personally, I kind of would shoot the same way. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Fair enough. And Cobra, what about yourself? Like when you lose love for the game, what do you do to get back into it?
Well, first of all, it's a great question from Foxy. I think it's something that it happens to all of us, and there have been some conversations in the past, briefly in other platforms, about this type of thing. For me, to answer the question briefly, I would say when it did happen to me, I decided to take a couple of weeks break, and I think that is a good thing. It is a really good thing, especially on the content creation side. If you burn out, if you don't do it, you will burn out. So I feel even if you're just simply playing the game and you've started to lose that love for it, the best thing I ever did was take a little break, because it's the smallest little things that get you back into it. And once you've missed a game for a little while, you will then find the love again for it. And I think going back to what Slyvren was saying a second ago, try different things or come from a different angle when you do come back. Because every update, things are slightly different, if we're talking solely on DayZ. But yeah, it happens to us all.
It does.
Take your time and then come back all fresh. Give it another go.
Yeah, the old adage, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Cobra.
Absolutely. And I'll quickly say mine. I play a different game. Like at the moment, I'm out of DayZ, so I'm playing Project Zomboid. And that is a good game. I really like that game. Really phenomenal game. And the second to last thing I want to talk about is we're going to be introducing clips of the week again. So we're going to be, if you want to submit your kind of clip, video, for us to showcase on the show, then we'll be more than happy to do that. But we're also going to be looking out for clips from the community on Reddit, Twitter, anything like that, and showcase that onto the show. Get a little bit of extra engagement and get some more conversations in. Would love to hear what you guys think about that, but also your response to the question in the Discord. Get yourself in, get you logged in, followed in, all that kind of stuff. Looking forward to hearing your responses. And the last thing, which people who have a bit of a keen eye, who saw the thumbnail. So, how do I word this? Boydie has got the spark back for the podcast, and he will be coming back as the main host. I'm not going anywhere, but Boydie will be taken as the main host of the show for a little bit of time. I'll be still around as a co-host, learning some of the ropes again. And yeah, I'm excited for him. I'm really happy for him to come back. Really, really happy for him to come back. And it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be really awesome for you guys to see him. Especially, yeah, people's like, yeah, that's fucking awesome. Has he got a new alarm clock? I'll get him one. I'll get him one. Don't you worry about that. Or honestly, Slyvren, like, there'd be so many times he'd sleep in. It's ridiculous.
Oh, no.
But yes, he's going to be coming back. I'll be the co-host. We are still talking about how we're going to do it. See how we can certain episodes I do it and then he does it. But welcome back, Boydie. I wish he was here to greet us, but he's not. But
he's probably still sleeping, right?
Probably, yeah. I mean, bloody, oh god, boomers, am I right? Oh wait, hang on. I'm joking. But Slyvren, you've been absolutely phenomenal, mate. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You've been funny, you've been fantastic, and you're welcome back absolutely anytime.
Thank you, guys. I'm humbled and honored that, you guys would even, consider somebody as small as me, just starting out.
No.
And it just speaks so well to the DayZ community, because that's how it's been, like, starting out, with content creation, streaming and stuff like that. Everyone's been so supportive, and this community honestly is like no other I've ever experienced in online gaming or gaming in general, and I've been doing it since the dawn of time. So props to everyone here, everyone involved. There's nothing but love.
Anytime, mate. Again, you've been absolutely wonderful to speak to, and I had such a laugh like before the show started, and you've been nothing but you've been hilarious. So
we can't talk about that.
No, we can't talk about it. Shh. It's for the after show. But thank you again so much for coming along. I really do appreciate it. Lemons, Cobra, thank you very much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Lemons, 2 episodes in a row. Keep it up. I'm sorry. I had to. And that will be us from tonight. And to answer your question, Johnny Bravo, I believe his first episode back will be next week. And who is actually our guest for next week? Because we actually do have another guest where Cobra has been absolutely phenomenal helping out with getting the guests on for the show. I've got to quickly announce it before we end. And
yeah, sorry. I think it's the next one because there's quite a few up here. I think it's always streams.
It is always streams, yes. So tune in next week, Friday, 8 o'clock, normal time now, to tune into the episode 134 of the Daisy podcast with always streams. Get yourself in there. Thank you everyone so much. Been fantastic. Cobra, Lemon, Slyvren, take care now and have a lovely weekend.
Yeah, all the best. Well done, guys.
Love you all.
Guys.
Bye.
Take care.